Everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's take a look at today's lesson objective. So today we will add mixed numbers. So before we get started, let's figure out what is a mixed number. So a mixed number is a number containing a whole number and a proper fraction. So we are going to learn how to add mixed numbers. So we're going to start with this problem today. So we have 2 and 3/8, and we need to add 3/8. Okay? So we're going to do this using our number line. So I have 2 and 3/8, and I have 3/8. So I'm going to go ahead and start at 2. And I'm going to go ahead and divide I'm going to add 8s to my number line. Okay, so I went ahead and drew my number line, and I'm starting with 2 because I have 2 and 3/8. So I have 2, but I have 2 and 3/8. So I need to start here. So right here is 2 and 3/8. So I now need to add 3/8 to that. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. So if I have 2 and 3/8 and I add 3/8, that's going to give me 2 and 6/8. So 2 and 3/8 plus 3/8 equals 2 and 6/8. All right, let's go to our next problem. So this time we have two mixed numbers. So we need to add 2 and 3/4 plus 3 and 1/4. So I have my number line. So let's go ahead and start at 2. And now we're going to separate our number line with fourths because that's our fraction that we're using. Okay, so now I drew my number line, so let's go ahead and solve this problem. Now, I can use my number line. I can just solve this a few different ways, but I'm going to show you two different ways that we can solve this problem. So I have 2 and 3/4. So here I have 2, and I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So right at this point, we have 2 and 3/4. So I can use my number line to now add 3 and 1/4. So if I have 2 and 3/4, so if I have 2 and 3/4, I can go ahead and add 3 and 1/4 with my number line. So I have 2 and 3/4. Now I need to add 3 and 1/4. Now I can do that with a number line, and I can just keep going until I get to 1/4. That can be kind of challenging. So one thing that we can do is we can separate my whole number, which is 3 and 1/4, because 3 and 1/4 is the same as adding 3 plus 1/4. So now I can go ahead and add these separately. So I have 2 and 3/4. Now I can add 1/4 over here. So I added 1/4, which will give me 3. So I've added the 1/4 portion, and now I can add 3 more. So 3 plus 1 whole, 2 wholes, 3 wholes, I'm going to now get 6. So my answer is 6. All right, because I added 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So all of those is going to give me 3. So I can just separate it that way. The other way I can solve this, if I did not want to use a number line, is I can separate my mixed fractions into whole numbers and fractions. So I have 2 and 3/4, which I can separate into 2 and 3/4. And then I have 3 and 1/4, which I can separate into 3 and 1/4. And now I can add these together. And I can add these in any which way that I want. So I can then add my 2 plus 3. I can go ahead and remove my whole numbers, and I can add those. So that's going to give me 5. And then I can take my fractions of 3/4 plus 1/4. So if I have 3/4 and I add 1 more to that, that's going to give me 4/4. And 4/4 is the same as 1. So then I can go ahead and take my 1 and add it to 5, which I got from over here. which gives me 6. So that's another strategy that we can use to add mixed numbers to another mixed number. Okay, let's go over today's lesson objective. So today we added mixed numbers. All right, thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope this was a helpful lesson and I hope you learned a lot. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.